So, tech. I mean, almost every program, every episode we've had this morning, especially from talking about proud African roots and advanced leadership, we've been talking about children. And this particular episode is a lot more about that. Screen time for kids. We've treated something similar to this earlier. We want to talk about it again. Excuse me. Because children's heavy reliance on screen media has raised serious public health issues with a mighty high possibility or risk of cognitive, linguistic, and social environmental limitations. So, I remember years ago, 10 years now, I did a tiny bit of research and I found out that screen time, too much screen time, actually reduces the brain capacity of children. And guess what? Because screen time is addictive, children would rather take the risk of spending time with the screen and deal with the consequences later in life. Well, they won't know the consequences until it is too ridiculously late. But then we have responsibility as parents, as guardians, as people who watch over them, who moderate their lives, at least when they are not able to by themselves. That's why this morning we want to talk about healthy screen time for kids, especially now that they're on holiday. And of course, yes, the holiday will soon be over, but is there something remedial we can still do within the little time we have? Akin Bitoye is here with us. He's a tech advisor and digital security enthusiast. Thank you for joining us again.
Thank you for having me.
Healthy screen time for kids will sound like a goal too high to reach, isn't it?
Yes, it will. This is a bit, my opinion, healthy screen time for kids will look like no screen time at all. When I talk about my generation, it will sound like I'm a cake. I'm a very young fellow. But back then, 4 p.m., bang, 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 with those test lines, the TV comes up, the station starts broadcasting. By 10 p.m., they shut down. But now it's 24 hours, on demand. Whatever you want, whenever you want, wherever you want, on whatever screen you want it. So children do not have the ability, they don't have the self-control, the self-restraint to say, oh, time out, time to go to bed, or time to do what I want to do. The screen is addictive for a purpose. Those people, well, we mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, that they are experts, psychologists, behavioral scientists that plan and curate this content for the screens, depending on whether the phone screen, the tablet screen, the laptop screen, the television, or any other screen that you might find out there. So they do this. Those images are flashy for a purpose, to engage and hold the attention of those kids. For example, you see toddlers, come and eat. Their face or their eyeballs are focused on the screen because those cartoon images or whatever it is they're watching engages them. Remember Baby Shark? Has over 1 billion views on YouTube. So it falls on the parents or the guardians to help children make better use of their time. Come to think of it, there was no tablet, mobile phones, or all of these screens when man landed on the moon. How did they do it? Yes, the rudimentary form of the computers were there, but they were reading books in the library. So yes, I know the argument now is kids take classes online, they learn online, everything they do is online. Yes, however, they can do it. You know, when you are reading a physical book, a notification cannot pop up. Actually, I am a culprit too. There was a time I was reading, and I was scrolling on the page, but the page was not scrolling. Then my brain came back, oh, this is a book, not my tablet. No, when you're reading, it's normal now, default, even without thinking, we scroll with our finger. So the book did not scroll. Oh, it's a book. You have to turn the page physically. So I think we need to help kids to regain their brain function. You mentioned something in your introduction. When we, not even children alone, when we watch a screen or any of these long TV shows that have been crafted to engage the human mind, your brain is not doing anything. You're just consuming. You are not really doing anything engaging with your mind. So you just watch, on and on and on. However, when you're reading a book or you are doing some task or playing games, physical games, Scrabble, chess, checkers, this engage your brain because you have to do analysis, you have to strategize. Oh, if I do this, this is what. So there are many other activities like that that engage a child's mind, which is what we need them to do. You need problem-solving skills to actually make, okay, if I do this, or I did this the other day, I lost the game, okay, maybe I'll try this. So that helps. And remember that when you're watching, when kids are focused on the phone or tablet or whatever device, they're crouched. So health issues arise from there. You see kids using glasses, as in medicated glasses now. Why? Because they are focused on a small, tiny screen for an extended period of time. They do not get to exercise their eyes. You know, when you're walking, your eyes focus on different objects, the trees, the building, the car, whatever it is on the road. So you are exercising. If you are about in a single position, you are looking at that for an extended period of time, then you, of course, your eye will strain. Then you have to blink or get up or do something else. So I think it behoves on the parents and guardians to help children. During the holidays is not when they should go all out, oh, please, screen, watch as much as you want. And I get it. Parents need the limited time they have to make money for the children. However, if the money you're making for those children, the children are already taught by someone else. Because whoever creates or shoots a movie, shoots a music video, writes a song, writes a book, they're trying to pass an idea along. We as adults, as parents, have filters. You know what message this person is trying to pass across. And if this does not align with my value, with my family values, with what I'm trying to teach these children, I should not allow them to watch it. But children don't have such filters. They don't have such biases. Okay. They're still white tablets.
Now, maybe we should be not just healthy screen time now, but even healthy screen use. That's what you seem to be talking about.
That's it.
Healthy screen use for kids. Indeed. But, you know, the digital immigrants may not even know as much as the digital natives. You want to teach the children what to watch, and they're the ones that are saying, Mommy, that one is not good. It's this one that I want. No. So help parents see what the point is here.
You know, just checking at a glance or skimming through content before your children watch it might be, oh, okay, this one is safe, watch it. But these messages are subtle. In those content, you can go online and search, oh, is this cartoon good? They'll say yes. Or is this content good for my children? But you need to be sure what you're trying to teach. The foundational stage is very important. If they take something as gospel truth, if they take something as, oh, this is what I'm working with, then they are formed. When you're trying to change them later, it will be harder. So, you know, it's to sit down with children to have conversations. This thought came to me while I was mulling over this session. Back in the days when you said for a young teenager to toast a young lady requires, actually, you have to think how to hold conversations, right? But now, quite a lot of these young kids are antisocial. So most of what you do is hide behind the screen and type what God knows what and try and engage the other human being. But you need to actually have social skills to hold conversations, to discuss anything that is just normal, apart from mobile phones. So coming back to your point, parents need to be involved in whatever the content these kids are watching. They say, I don't watch cartoons, so just allow the children watch. As long as it's cartoon, we have something in the back of my eyes for children. Huh? There's one Bowman Jack. It's a cartoon, but that cartoon is not for children. The content, the foul language and all that's in it, it's not for children, but because it's cartoon, in this case, I watch cartoon, just dismiss it with a wave of hand. Please do not do that. It's better you don't let them watch at all than you let them watch what will create in them this false sense of identity, this false sense of responsibility. Our culture, yes, we talk a lot about adopting or assimilating with foreign culture. You know, anything exotic is wow. So that's how they do there. They call their parents by their name. And say, really? Let me use local palace. They know born you well. You call your father by... Do you get? So, but that's what our children are being exposed to. So that has its ramifications here. That has ramifications for them there. And it works. So please, you need to be involved. Whatever you want to. Sometimes you just say, take my phone. Don't disturb me. Take your phone. Really? With all of the pop-ups, with all of the ads that just pop up at random. These kids do not know what is good or what is bad yet. And once they have a taste of stimulation, once they are stimulated, that's what they will go back and be checking. Some of the apps, games that they download on your phone, you know those games are free. They are not free. They are free to download, free to play, yes. But the adverts that pop up every few minutes is how they pay for it being free. And some of those adverts will lead them, because once you click trying to close it, it will open another app. Please, it's too risky to allow kids unfettered access. I think I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, that there are certain apps, I know for Android users, you can create a child account. That child account restricts a lot of things for the child. You may not be there, but you can see every activity they're doing on the phone. Apple also has that, if you're opening an account for a minor, because they also take cognizance that we can't just allow children be. There are predators out there looking for children to just pounce on. And you need control. You can think, that's too much. Oh, no, it's not. Better safe than sorry.
You know, the whole of this conversation is going in a particularly interesting angle. Now, it's something very vital that you just said. Parents, once they see that it is cartoon, we think it is safe for children. I don't know, I saw something, you know, on the screen, you know, living room, and I just see something evil. What is this? Say it's cartoon.
Banned.
Evil cartoon.
Oh yeah.
And you are watching it. You are not watching again. No. So there's sometimes, but then, do you really blame parents who just say to their kid, look, go and watch TV because I am busy? I know it's a catch-22, but hey, at the end of the day, it is what it is, right?
As a parent, that's why I said I understand that the time is a finite resource. You can spend that time with them, or you can spend that time doing something else. But when you wait, ultimately, whatever it is you're doing, at the back of our minds, we're doing it for our children. That's what we tell ourselves. You're trying to make money for your children. So,
aren't we? Good. So, as you were saying.
As I was saying. So, I'm not really laying the blame solely, but we need to be more involved. The last speaker, I think Mr. Biodu, he mentioned about parents shipping their children off during the holidays to relatives. Just go and spend holiday at so place, and we just leave them unprotected, so to speak. That's what we do every day, that we give screen unsupervised, unfettered access to digital devices. See, yes, I know they are digital natives. I did not teach my son any single thing on the iPad when he was 1 year old. Just got the iPad, gave it to him. He fumbled around, then he knew where the photos were. He knew how to launch the game, he knew how to play music. Like, Steve Jobs was up to something. He was really up to something. No, seriously. So, yes, I understand that. But cartoons, this digital content, there are games, there are apps that actually help them engage their brain, which is what we should nudge them towards. You want these kids to be analytical. You want them to question things. You don't want them to just take it hook, line, and sinker, fisherman and the boat, and just take it. Because that's what they know. You want them engaged than, oh, that's a new cartoon that just came out. Oh, this. Cartoons, not all of them are safe. Please, I cannot say this enough. I know how it's bubbling inside of me. This is like the junkyard capital of the world. Everything just goes. Once you are watching, you are okay, Abi. As long as the child is not making noise, not disturbing you. When children run around, that's what being a child is. They have excess sugar. They need to burn it. They scream around the house. But parents want quiet. You've been stressed. Island to mainland. You are stressed. You don't want noise. So stop making noise. Go and watch. Please. Danger lurks around the corner. It will not help. It will not hurt, really, if we just pay a little bit more attention. See, they don't have to be online. Let me re-emphasize that. Your children do not have to be on the internet. Whatever it is they need to learn, you can download this thing. You can save it. You can download it, then have them watch it offline with time limits. I don't see why children should be watching TV during school days, as in even in the evening. Children need more sleep than we adults do, but children will still be up watching TV. 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Really?
And they're going to school tomorrow.
Really? So, like you said, we are doing these things for our children. The time is limited. But I think, in my own opinion, if you have the children read more books, that would engage them.
Okay. You're going to recommend some of these apps that you say are safe. Because let's not even fool ourselves. Digital devices are here to stay.
They ain't going nowhere.
But before you recommend those apps, we're only talking about digital devices. We're not talking about what Elon Musk says is way worse, which is artificial intelligence. In fact, I hold the opinion, I don't think many parents are even aware of the potential.
Existence.
Not even the existence.
Existence first, before the potential. Oh, you're talking because you're exposed. You're talking about AI because, you know, right? Existence first. Then you can now talk about potential. But go on.
Well, that's it. So people don't even know about it.
So, I'm not holding brief, but there's a device by one of these big tech companies, let me not mention their name. It's a speaker, right? But it's a smart speaker. Once you wake up and you just call out to the assistant, start my day, it goes through a routine. Tells you what your calendar is, because it's synced with your email and your calendar. Tells you what meetings you have. Then plays your favorite music to put you in the morning mood. If you have a connected fridge or a connected coffee maker or a connected lighting system or home automation system, it puts all of those things in place, just like you see in the movies. I kid you not. That's for about less than $100. That device is connected to the internet, but of course, it can be used for less than optimal uses. So, parents being aware of artificial intelligence. My fear, of course, the fear of a whole lot of other experts, is that with the information explosion, we now have less informed people. You know, something about constipation. When you have a lot of food in your fridge, they're not hungry. When you do not have food in your fridge, then you open it a couple of times and say, I'm hungry. So there's a whole lot of information, but we have less informed people. Why? Because it's always there. So for a young person to write or turn in their assignment at home now, just ask ChatGPT. It will solve all of it for you. But remember, it's not just the answer. You have to show working. Now ChatGPT can show working. The last Apple device that was released, the tablet, just write the question, the mathematical equation with the pen. Write it. It will solve it for you and show you the workings. I kid you not. So now you have kids that are heavily reliant on technology and don't know how to actually do it. There's this almighty formula when I was in secondary school, quadratic equation. Good Lord, I suffered, but I ultimately learned it. So a young person don't need to go through that. Children, digital natives now, they don't need to go through all that. Why are you stressing yourself? Just put it in ChatGPT, it will give you the code step by step. So how will the teachers mark to ascertain the proficiency by the student? Which is why in the tertiary institutions globally, even including Nigeria, they frown on plagiarism and AI. Because when you need to turn in your assignment, just ask ChatGPT, how do I do this? You just write 1,000 words, 2,000 words, 5,000 words. Do you get? So the professor or the lecturer that will mark that will have a hard time. So now you have other services that detect AI language.
I have one detection. Once I see the word tapestry, I know it is ChatGPT. Once I see that word tapestry.
Once you see overall, overall at the bottom of the composition, overall, ChatGPT in the book. So what I would recommend is for parents who don't know, you need, and again, I think our generation and the generation coming after will be the most exposed, I don't want to say enlightened, most exposed to the technology advancement in all of human history, because the amount of information available right now eclipses all that has ever been. And of course, is it Moore's law? The amount of information multiplies or doubles. But now, even the time it doubles is shorter now, because all these LLMs, large language models, which the artificial intelligence use in the output, is growing. But I make bold to say this. I said this the last time, that there are some things that Google cannot find. There are some things AI cannot find. What? The thought in my head that I have not typed out yet. Seriously, because anything digital can be crawled, and of course, it's part of how they train these large language models. So my summation is, parents, see, help your children. How do you help them? If you deny them outright access, they will find it in school, because kids now take phones to school, right? They will find it in a neighbor's house or something. So it's not outright denial, but teaching them to know what is beneficial to them and what will harm them down. You play now, you pay later. But if you pay now, you can watch anything you want to watch now. Why? You've paid your dues. And when you are watching something and you're like, nah, you shut it down.
Even there are some films that you were looking for them back in time. Today, they're all over the place.
Oh, I remember video rental. There's this film that we want to watch, but there's no time. There's no time. Because you trade in your time to watch the movie, right?
Okay. We may have to expand this conversation, Aki. But those apps that you're talking about,
okay,
let's recommend those ones.
Okay, for Android users, Family Link, that's the aim. And this only works if you have your children, you've gotten them devices already, phones, tablets, and the like. You can use the Family Link. If they have laptops and your children are...
Family Link is for Android?
Android, yes.
Okay.
For Apple, I don't have the name offhand now, but if you search children monitoring apps on the Apple Store, the App Store, family children monitoring apps, because you need to be their guardian in the real sense of the word. Digitally, they are at the mercy.
There's also one by Microsoft. Microsoft has one as well.
Microsoft also has.
Microsoft has one. I forgot
if your
the
kids
name.
have laptops, the laptop is more like the gateway to everything. Yeah, the phone is.
Family, for the one for...
Google.
No. For Google, it's Family Link.
Family Link, yes.
For Microsoft, it's Family Safety.
Aha. because it's a big deal for these tech companies that children remain safe. There was this story. Remember Angry Birds?
Yeah.
Many years ago. There was a child that racked up about £70,000 on the parent's credit card. Because, of course, it will be the parent's device with their card details stored on it. And you know, when you are playing Angry Birds, you need extra life. You have to keep pressing extra life. So the kids racked, of course, they refunded the fund when the parents sued. But that's just something without supervision. Without supervision, things can go awry. So we need to help our kids. These apps may seem overbearing, but please, go ahead and do it. Your children will thank you for it later. There are certain times our parents will tell us back then, no TV. Of course, let me resort to local balance. You're not well born to go and put on the TV. But now, even if you ground your kids, they still get their phone or somehow still get screen time later in the evening. And when children sleep with the screen, or they have TV in their room, or they have their tablet, they take it to their room, they do not get good quality sleep.
I don't think parents are even aware of the effect, the potential impact, the potential or the progressive destruction that is ongoing in the minds of the children, are they?
You know, when it's not visible, we don't tend to take action. When someone is physically ill, unwell, you take urgent action, take them to the hospital, you run tests. But when someone is unwell mentally or is tending towards it, we don't tend to catch it on time. But let me give you some telltale signs. When you have kids that are irritable, they are moody more often than not. I talked about doomsday scrolling the last time, a couple of weeks ago. Doomsday scrolling is when you're on Instagram or any of these social media platforms. You can't get to the end. When you get to the end, your brain tells you, oh, I have finished this. You move on to other thing. But you, where are you going? Keep scrolling. You keep seeing because the algorithm learns what you like. So if it's skit, the skit will keep coming. If all you like is all this to do, all these pranks, these people that play pranks up and down, that's what it will keep bringing, and you will keep watching. Before you know it, you just want to check Instagram for 5 minutes. I've never seen anybody check for 5 minutes. 2 hours later, in that SpongeBob, 5 hours later. That's where you go. So kids, children, young adults, teenagers, preteens need this guide to... I told you the other time about this app that tells you when you've been on social media for a certain amount of time. You can set the limit yourself. Okay, I don't want to spend more than 1 hour today on social media. When you're using the app, once the 1 hour is up, it just tells you, locks the app. 1 hour is up, close. You now choose
to unlock.
So in that way, you know that you're the one that is looking for
I don't know the number of times my kids have called me, Daddy, my phone is not working.
And what did you say?
I said, don't worry, it will work tomorrow.
I trust you. But you know the interesting thing, at least I remember kids, once you give them the iPad and they're watching, and the battery runs flat, they now bring it to you.
My son will bring, Daddy, my iPad is dead. He will now be looking at my own iPad like this. I'll just look away. Sometimes I just indulge. But that's for the adults. That's for the parents. How about the educational apps? Because it's a maze out there. It's a jungle. It's
Wild West.
Yes. So what are the safeguards? And parents, please, should also do this. Insist that your children will watch only healthy content. And it's a rule, for my little ones. If it's not educational and you watch it, you're going to get a ban. So I think we should be able to get to that point. And please, don't even get me started on children that say to their mom, it's what I want that I want.
Really?
Oh, God.
Really?
Anyway, I'm a presenter, so let me not be in that here.
You can check the history of what your children are doing online. On mobile device, on computers, even on the TV. what they've watched, you can go to the history and check, because you can assume, you can tell them, don't do this, but of course, children now. It's what you say, don't do. Oh yeah.
They'll just say why.
we need to be sure why they are telling us we should not do this thing. So you can check that and audit from time to time. That will help.
How do you check what children have watched on TV?
Oh, all of the apps have history. Some kids that are watching this will be smart enough to delete it. But once you have those parental apps I mentioned, you cannot delete your activity. No. It's not allowed. That's why you are on a children account. It's not allowed. The parents can only do that. So for those educational apps, like you said, remember quantitative reasoning, verbal reasoning, textbooks that was a big deal back in the days. Those allow you to reason, oh, this is a triangle. Oh, this is 2, 3. What should be next? 4, right? So those apps, one of it is Peak, P-E-A-K. P is available across platforms for Android, for iOS devices as well. Peak, P-E-A-K app. It's a free app, I believe. You will find verbal, how to converse. English, mathematical, and even deductive reasoning. Because, okay, this happens, what should happen here? Because kids need to exercise their capacity to reason, right? Another one is Lumos, L-O-M-U-S, I think, M-O-U-S, Lumos, yeah, L-U-M-O-U-S. It's another one. What they do is just provide engagement. And when your kid or your children are engaging their minds using screen, that's a permissible use of the screen time, because most of these things are not written, they're not printed out. They're digital. And because the AI model in the back end also learns how they learn, then it gives them more. Your kid can learn a second language. Easy. Apps. One of those apps is Babel, B-A-B-E-L, Babel app. They can learn a second language. Free. French, Spanish, Chinese, Cantonese, whatever other language they need to learn. Because it just gives them examples. Just like how would I put it now? Gradual steps. You hit certain milestone, you can speak, even if it's just basic conversational proficiency, you can attain using those apps. There are quite a ton of them. Kids now, everybody is pushing their kid to learn programming. No. That's not the way out. No. Yes, tech. But when you hear tech, it doesn't mean programming. Not everybody is friends with mathematics. Myself included. However, tech is huge. Right? Some people need to sell the tech products. Some people need to teach people how to do it, how to use it, right? So there's a whole lot out there with tech, but let's not just assume that all our kids will become tech whiz, but they need to know how to use it. How can somebody be applying for a job this day and don't know how to use a computer? So I'm not sure what the person hopes to achieve by getting the job. You cannot use a computer. Say, oh, I'm a first learner. Oh, really? Okay. Should have fast learned it before you started applying. No, serious. And this one, I'm really passionate about it. Please, if you're a young person, if the highest level of education you've had is secondary school, please go to cyber cafe. I think there's a business center. Just offer to learn how to type. It's the least you can do. And you know the interesting thing? Most of this same set of people use the iPhone. Without issues. Granted, all they do is social media, type, and call, but they use the iPhone. So, learning how to be compliant in this technology age is not negotiable. I'm not sure how you function in this age when you cannot use the basic terminal. And you know the interesting thing? The computer is moving away from the desktop and laptop that we know. You've seen, not just that, you've seen the Apple Vision. You wear glass. Inside the glass, you just be using your hand gesture. You'll be controlling with your eyes. So it's progressing. And our kids are the beneficiary of this, but we need to help them build the foundation first to know what to choose or what aligns or what will help them and what will take away from them.
Yeah, so what are the apps to run away from? I don't know. So what are some
run
of the
away?
Apps? Yes.
That's very big.
Yeah, okay. So avoid. Or to be cautious about?
Oh, really? Social media apps. On social media, do they like me? Am I liked? Are they dragging me? That's the currency. It's, somebody just posted something controversial. The person does not believe it, but because the person needs engagement, because of Elon's money, you have to drive engagement. So you become controversial for the money. So social media apps, please, as much as possible, limit your time. Unless you're selling there, please, do what you can. Sell very well. Shameless plug. When something is trendy, jump on it and put your products there. So apps to run away from. When you see free apps, you know you are the product. I've said this over and over again. Nothing is free. Somebody is paying for it. We've all been, not we've all been. For those who have been on Facebook since the early 2008s, you've been the product. Oh, yeah. Back then when they were still in the early stages, if you send a post on Facebook, you are guaranteed that 1,000, 2,000 people will see it. Now, less than 10.
Wow.
Unless you boost the post. They have to make money now. They are not world biggest social media company by mouth. So apps to run away from. Once you see free app, you need to really read up on it. If we do our due diligence, we would get more value out of our technology devices. But because we just follow the bandwagon, follow the trend, there was one tap something some time ago, the crypto mining app where you'll be tapping your screen and you'll be getting. It was one young boy from Russia that wrote the app and he just swept across the globe. So the idea was, after you're tapping, you're mining, that's not how it works. That's not how it works.
So, and some people will just sit and just be...
Oh, there's a guy in the northern part of Nigeria that employed a couple of guys that were tapping for him. I think it was like the top earner, in quote, in Nigeria.
What did he earn?
Well, he claims to have earned about $10,000. Claimed. I cannot verify that. I cannot deny it. However, that's what technology brings to the table. People can follow trend and not get anything out of it. Technology is supposed to make our life easier. Remember when we used to, not we, but I want to believe our ancestors. let me be factual, please. Our ancestors would cut tree with whatever device they could find. They would start fires with rocks, sparks. But technology made things easier. Now you have lighter, now you have all of this to cut trees. Not just to cut trees, now you see equipment, farming on a large scale. Subsistence farming was how they started. Yeah, you do your back-breaking hoe and do whatever and do the ridges. But now, acres, hectares, right? So technology is supposed to make our life easier. If it is not, then we are using it the wrong way.
No. So those are social. I'm now
social media apps.
Social media apps, largely for young adults. We'll still come to the parents in a bit. We'll spend about 10 minutes or thereabout there. But there's this one that I see. How good would you say it is for children? Minecraft. So
Minecraft was bought over by Microsoft a couple of years ago. It's one of their leading apps. What it does, it helps whoever using it, and not just children, because I know adults actually use this.
I'll sit down and be building.
So
Phantom
the idea behind Minecraft is you can create your own world, create your own game, create whatever it is, and using the building blocks that they give you in the game. So the implication is over hundreds of thousands of games abound on Minecraft, built by individuals. So instead of one person publishing a game, all of you come and play. They just give you the building blocks. So what you're doing is you're mining, then the materials you get from there, you use it to build your own world.
Okay. Now let's help some adults, particularly digital immigrants.
Like ourselves.
And digital slaves. Many don't even know that some of these devices, happen. They are there for them. The reason many parents are so busy is because they don't even know that there is certain technology help that they can get. For instance, we've spoken about AI. There are a good number of people who don't know how to use this AI for their own, so that they can, for themselves, so that they can at least, save some time that they can now spend with their children. Can you give some assistance in that regard?
Okay. Sometimes a parent wants to plan food or meals for their children, but you have no idea where to go about it. It doesn't get, what would they eat, what would they eat, what would they eat? Easy. What are you trying to do? You can just think Google, Facebook, quite a number of them now have their own, Microsoft too, they have their own AI inbuilt into their search engines. On your phone, if you have Google, the AI is already in there. Don't need to look for it, right? Microsoft, on their search engine, they already have their own AI inbuilt. Apple. So what you can do is just search meal plan for my children. Put their ages there. It will give you, but of course, you need to localize it. Because when it starts telling you to go and get asparagus.
Just say Nigerian meal time for my children.
Do you get? So that's one way to save yourself the headache of trying to plan what meals they will eat. We don't get a lot of balanced diet here. Carbohydrate is the mainstay of our, you get plenty rice, you get small meat, if available. So with the rising costs of food items, you can be sure that the options are now even more limited. So that's one way to save time in meal planning. Another way would be fun activities that you can do with your children, because by the time you've gone 3 hours in traffic from the mainland to the island and you reverse the same in the evening, you are spent. And I'm saying either father or mother now. Whoever has to travel long distances to work, that's already about a quarter of the day gone. And you still need to sleep to resume the same tomorrow. So the time to spend with the children is quite limited on the weekdays. But you can still do fun activities with them. You can read to them. I know this concept is foreign to us because just a few of us had our parents read stories to us. Right? Read what? How? Which book first? Right? But you can read to your children. And for, how would I put it now? For somebody trying to ask, what exactly will I read? If you don't have anything to read, find on the same Google we are talking about, bedtime stories. You will find it on this. What it does is you can bridge the gap using that same AI. You are not paying extra for it.
I actually find it very interesting, that question that you just raised, mealtime for kids, because people need to really know that technology is there for us to make your life so much easier. You have a report to write. I mean, this is something that I've done. I want to write a report for something, and I have no idea how to go about it. And I'll be looking for the words is it preside or precede? I don't know. I just put all the junk, right? In ChatGPT. I say, Oga, put this in report or in minutes form, and make it into columns of who does what and all of that. You find out that ChatGPT does it. It's really that easy, and it'll be very strange if we still have parents who don't know how to do those things.
It is not strange. Oh. Please go on. It is not strange. No, it is not. You are talking to urban citizens, right? The rural citizens, right? Nah, it's not strange. Not at all. Oh, yeah. But please go on. The phone,
I mean,
mobile communications.
It is. I'm actually glad that is the case, because it means that even that same technology they can use for their farming and everything and all of that. And it is not limited to professions either.
No, it's not. It is not. There's some tools, there's some equipment for carpentry that I've never seen in my life before. Of course, I grew up in Nigeria. However, online, you see certain equipment. Wait, what do they use this for? Then when you see how to make furniture without nails, no nail, in a sitting table, there are some lovely technology, Japanese technologies, ancient Japanese, I might add, how they make this furniture fit it to each other and just with glue. And you see, wait, really? All I know is hammer and nail. Bah, bah, bah. Then that filing, and no. The word has left that behind a long time ago.
Really?
Oh, yeah. How to bend wood.
Wood or metal?
Wood, please. I was shocked too. They bend wood by heating it up. It's weird. So where I'm going is, it's not limited to just professionals. Artisans, they are, Lord. The possibilities are endless if you are rubbing minds with those who have gone ahead. But when all we do is just bicker among ourselves, we can't get anything done meaningfully. Of course, we still have a lot. I know the various government agencies, SMIDAN, I know there's a LASVEB, Lagos State Technology for Education and Education Board. They're doing a lot in helping those who come, because you can have it unless people come to collect it. How will you go about chasing them? Come and collect. We have resources, we have materials that can help you do your job or your vocation better. Technology is improving daily, and unless we can open up to accept it or to embrace it, we may not get the most out of it. So AI in its rudimentary form can just extend what you already have. 0 times 1 million is 0. You need to have something for AI to work with, right? So if there's nothing, believe me, AI will give you nothing. Nothing valuable will come out of it. However, when you have something, it's just a multiplier. It's nothing of itself, which is why you don't see AI going around and just doing anything. No. Somebody has to prompt, then it gives you options, but you need to know what you're looking for. Okay, this works, no, this doesn't work. Then you can get something new, something fresh.
Isn't it even lazy that all you want to do with technology is, this is the question my teacher asked me, answer the question.
I don't.
And garbage in, garbage out.
Well, coming back to education, I'm sure there's a lot going on with the Ministry of Education and in reviewing our curriculum. Way back in the mid-2000s, they were still teaching Fortran and COBOL as programming languages. These were the programming languages that was used to go to the moon. I keep going back there because computing in the 60s and the 70s were just basic formula translation. Beginners or symbolic instruction code. That's what the computers, that's how they programmed them then. And in the 2000s, that's still higher institution. I'm not talking secondary school curriculum. I know they have changed, updated a few of them now. But this, keeping up with the times, keeping up with technology would help. Because by the time higher institution students are just learning this at that stage, our counterparts in other parts of the world, we're learning this in elementary school because it's part of the curriculum. So you see a young one come out with an app, come up with something like, wow. And everybody, because the earlier they start, the earlier they can get and adopt and adjust and keep up with the times.
I actually, when you were talking about carpentry the other time, I was shocked to see one device that was used to cut triangle. Perfect triangle. It's, it's the same rotational, this thing, that the same way you used it to cut circle.
Yes, the die cutting machine.
To cut a triangle. Perfect size. My oval was gasted and my flabber was whelmed. Well, you won't find it in edition.
To any of our viewers thinking that they must have been doing nothing, it's the computer that is controlling the machine. The computer sends the image and the dimension to the machine cuts it. Just like you do with the printer.
Yeah.
Once you send whatever is on your computer, the printer prints it out. You don't care how the printer prints it. Your own is the printer prints it. So they have lasers and 3D printing and a whole lot of technology that has been invested in those machines. and they bring it out. Mwah.
Okay. Well, let me just, by the way, another thing that people use technology for is to cook food. I know that there are fridges now, refrigerators, you know, that you can just sit. You sit in your office and you know everything that is in the fridge, including the one that's almost spoiled and the ones that you've run out of stock, you know. And it will tell you when you get to the market, it will tell you, do I still have egg? No, I don't.
I'm sure there's someone listening now, watching us now, like, nah, I don't believe that is possible.
No, don't worry. Just Google it, you'll find it. You know. But lastly, so we can coast home. Technology is available to help fast track our lives, so that we can have more time for kids, right? Among other things.
Amongst other things.
Among other things.
Thank you.
You know. So that we can be able to have time for our children. What do we do with those children is another matter. Someone has spoken about it earlier. What are the things that you would advise that we do with the time that we have, especially when we know that we have to do it with technology with the kids?
So sharing our experience with the children, our experience with technology, is a good way to start. Why did I say that? It's easy to take it for granted when you are a digital native. But there was a time, the first time I entered a cyber cafe in my life was shortly before 9/11 happened in the US. And I remember this because the events were so interconnected. I walked into the center, I saw computers, I saw a young lady sitting, and I just saw YAHOO. Of course, nobody told me. I just thought, wow, Yahoo. What is Yahoo? Which one is Yahoo? So I went there. He said, what are you doing? I said, I'm browsing. He said, what's browsing? Strange. Very strange. But so I asked, he said, oh, you can come and sit down. So such stories will help the children because they're knowing part of your life.
By hearing those things.
Thank you. Okay. I doubt parents sit down with their children and say, see, apart from the gory stories anyway, say, when I was your age, I was top of my class. No, it's not like that one. No, you are talking at them. When you share and you become vulnerable, and I know it's not very easy, hurting people hurt others. So parents who've been hurt have no recourse. They will pass it on to their children. However, children see you for who you are. It's not what you say. Say, do as I say. You are who.
So it's all about engagement.
Engagement. And you don't need to look for what to talk about with your kids. You will find it. And it's
always there.
It's always there around you. Okay. The friends you keep. You know, no, I don't like that boy. No, don't move it. No, it's not like that. You find from them. So, oh, that's your friend. Oh, what do you guys talk about? Just engagement. There's no other way to break it down.
Oh, well, let's hope that we have all learned a thing or two. Because the opportunity to talk with them throughout this summer, as we call it, is almost all gone now.
Yeah.
But if we can redeem a little bit of the time, it'll be good. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Akin Bito is a tech advisor and digital security enthusiast. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Well, unfortunately, we weren't able to have our Artist of the Week. Apologies about that, but hey, we'll definitely make sure that we do better on that particular one next time. In the meantime, thank you so much for the privilege of being a part of your morning, and I hope you've had fun and you've learned a thing or two watching. I'm Ayo Makinde. On behalf of everyone here, thank you for your time and have a wonderful rest of your day.